Hey, everybody know ain't no party like a Diddy party, so.
Yeah, that's what's up. Yeah.
Applaud them when they win. I criticize them when they're messing up in an effort to make sure that you don't do it again. I'm not wishing anybody to fail, but I have to call it how I see it because I have an audience to answer to. These players, I don't get paid to talk.
Stephen A. Smith just dropped a bombshell on live TV. LeBron James is about to be arrested, not for basketball, but as Diddy's first sacrifice to the feds. That's the headline that's shattering social media feeds and turning sports talk shows into true crime panels overnight. We've seen plenty of heated words between Smith and LeBron before, but this is something else. This isn't trash talk or petty feud. This is Smith, one of the most watched voices on ESPN, going all in, not just naming LeBron, but painting him as the next high-profile domino to fall in the aftermath of Diddy's sentencing. It's a kind of accusation that even the boldest tabloid editors would hesitate to run, except now it's unfolding live, and it's impossible to look away.
Let's talk about LeBron James, the Lakers head coach, saying he is out for personal reasons. It's an excused absence. However, social media trying to connect it to a resurfaced clip where James joined Diddy Combs on a live stream and said, quote, "Hey, everybody know ain't no party like a Diddy party." I think that went viral. I remember when
Here's the backdrop. Diddy, or Sean Combs if you're feeling legal, is sitting behind bars with a 50-month federal sentence for what the judge called disgusting, shameful, and sick behavior. Running a criminal operation that, according to prosecutors, involved coercing women into private encounters, luring them to his freak-off parties, plying them with substances, and then recording everything for his own leverage. The courtroom saw tears, apologies, and videos that frankly are probably going to haunt public memory for a long time. The judge's words still ring out. Diddy remains a threat at any age, a man whose real currency wasn't money, but control. It's one of the rare cases where celebrity, money, and influence didn't keep the door shut on a decades-long parade of allegations. But as Diddy's defense scrambles to get that sentence cut, what Smith is now suggesting is that Combs is actively trading away his inner circle, offering up names, stories, maybe even tapes to federal prosecutors, all for a shot at daylight. And if Smith is to be believed, LeBron James is first on that list. The implication is radioactive. Diddy, knowing his own empire is toast, might be betting on turning in America's most famous basketball player. It's a move that would grab headlines on every continent and put both the NBA and the entertainment industry under a level of scrutiny they haven't seen since the early days of the Me Too movement.
Same kind of extortion that we heard when Cassie took the stand and testified on that airplane ride back from France. Diddy said, "You don't do a freak-off, I'm going to release one of the freak-off videos that you are profiled in and humiliate."
So how did we even get to this surreal crossroad where LeBron James, the so-called king, is being discussed on cable news as a possible criminal accomplice? The timeline is tangled, but the public receipts start back in July 2013, when LeBron and Diddy were snapped together at the ESPY Awards, grinning like two titans who know their night is about to get a lot longer. At the time, nobody blinked. Diddy was still a party fixture, LeBron was at the height of his fame, and every A-lister seemed to orbit the same velvet rope events. But those photos are now digital evidence in a much darker drama. Fast forward to October 2022, and LeBron's own words are being replayed with forensic intensity. "Ain't no party like a Diddy party." That was LeBron, live on Instagram, hyping up Diddy's scene just months before federal agents would raid Diddy's LA and Miami homes in the biggest entertainment bust since R. Kelly. It's not just a bad look. It's the sort of unforced endorsement that gets played back on every cable news loop, now reframed as LeBron knew more than he let on. Especially because, in May 2024, as Diddy's legal house of cards collapsed, LeBron suddenly hit the digital eject button. He unfollowed Diddy on every social media account. If that's not a red flag, it's at least a giant yellow card. Right as Diddy was fighting to stay out of prison, LeBron started scrubbing his feed of any sign the two were ever close. Anyone else, that's just another Thursday night on the couch. But when it's LeBron, it's news. And to investigators, it looks a lot like someone trying to get ahead of a headline.
Known that I've talked for a while, a lot of people are buzzing that Diddy's former BFFs are real quiet.
And they have been.
And people were wondering why and who's the next to fall. And then Jay-Z comes out, and then LeBron James says, "I'm stepping away for excused personal reasons." And people are going, oh, what is going on?
That brings us to the present, where every move is being re-examined with a kind of paranoid energy we haven't seen since the heyday of OJ or Michael Jackson's court drama. The video of LeBron singing Diddy's praises, "Ain't no party like a Diddy party," has now resurfaced, and according to sources close to the federal probe, is being reviewed by investigators. They're asking why LeBron was so willing to associate with Diddy so close to the raids, and whether he attended any of the infamous gatherings where, according to witness testimony and now court documents, Diddy's crew were running surveillance, recording BIs in various compromising positions.
Hey LeBron, how you doing tonight, man? Yo, you wish Diddy happy birthday, man? Where do you get the man that has everything, LeBron?
And here's where the rumors spiral into something with real stakes. In a series of leaked court filings, Diddy's legal team reportedly presented the feds with a catalog, pictures, video, texts, not just of Diddy himself, but of the so-called enablers. We're not talking about background dancers or anonymous party guests. Multiple sources, including attorneys involved with the plaintiffs, have told reporters that LeBron's name is somewhere on those lists. The network hasn't confirmed, but when there's smoke in the modern internet age, there's usually a live stream, a viral meme, and a subreddit working overtime. The wildest whispers claim Diddy stockpiled private tapes, stashed away for blackmail insurance, and that LeBron, whether knowingly or not, might be visible in some of them. Again, no direct evidence has been made public, and every statement out of LeBron's camp has denied any involvement in Diddy's more questionable activities. But the timing, the photos, the sudden digital disappearing act, it all makes the speculation that much juicier. To make things messier, the so-called maid's dress photo that made the rounds on X and TikTok in late 2024, showing LeBron in what looked like a hotel staff uniform at one of Diddy's parties, only poured gasoline on the fire. Most credible outlets, from Marca to Getty, say the photo's provenance is sketchy, possibly even altered. But that didn't stop millions from questioning just how close LeBron and Diddy's friendship really was. The word humiliation ritual started trending, with some influencers and conservative commentators openly asking why LeBron, who's usually never shy about weighing in on politics or controversy, has been so radio silent about his relationship with Diddy. Candace Owens, for one, put it out plainly. Why does the king have nothing to say now? Meanwhile, investigators and court insiders have started connecting dots from Diddy's own house of horrors. Testimony from former assistants and alleged victims described a parade of celebrities at those infamous parties. Leonardo DiCaprio, Beyonce, Jay-Z, Justin Bieber, Drake, Kim Kardashian. According to leaked testimony, the parties were a who's who of the entertainment elite, all lured by Diddy's promise of discretion and luxury. There's no evidence most guests had any clue about what happened behind locked doors. But lawyers for several accusers have insisted that Diddy didn't just want plausible deniability. He wanted leverage, and that meant compiling evidence on everyone who got too close to the action. That's why, even if LeBron did nothing criminal, the risk is that Diddy's team could shop out of context tapes to cut a deal, and if your face shows up at the wrong time in the wrong place, you're at the mercy of whatever narrative the prosecution or the internet decides to run with.
They've been afraid of coming forward. They've been afraid of what he could potentially do to them within the industry, what he could do to them professionally, maybe even personally. And so yes, it's been a dark secret they've held on to for a very, very long time.
All this has made for an atmosphere that's equal parts legal thriller and celebrity panic attack. Industry insiders say Diddy is isolated but not powerless. He still has digital assets, a loyal network, and every incentive to play the only card he's got left, information. And according to Stephen A. Smith's televised meltdown, that means LeBron could be offered up as a bargaining chip before the next federal hearing. Is Smith blowing smoke? Possibly, but as Diddy's sentencing judge made clear, the old rules don't apply anymore. This is about control, blackmail, and survival.
Which leads obviously to you and Stephen A. Hey, legit, that feels like a moment that had been brewing for a long time.
He's like on a Taylor Swift tour run right now.
Oh yeah, yeah, we're watching it. We're all seeing.
Oh yeah,
you're seeing it as well.
He literally, it started off with, I didn't want to address it.
Yeah, sure.
I didn't want to address it. I wasn't going to.
The dominoes keep tumbling. Not even a week after LeBron's infamous Instagram Live endorsement of Diddy, federal agents raided 2 of Combs' homes, seizing computers, phones, and, as insiders put it, more than enough digital evidence to start a library. Shortly after, internet sleuths went full forensic accountant, pulling up every trace of LeBron and Diddy's online relationship. The 2013 ESPY photo, the 2022 Instagram Live, the footage of them singing together at a Miami club. Every moment now loaded with new meaning. Even routine trips, like LeBron's son reportedly vacationing with Diddy's daughters, are being picked apart for clues, as if every handshake or family photo is a breadcrumb in some sprawling criminal investigation.
I'm sorry, I'm just like really, I'm in this moment right now. This is crazy.
Sorry. People don't really know how much what it does to you when something that you love is taken from you and thrown away like it don't even matter, and then they move on with their lives and you're stuck. You're stuck during those years. You're still stuck 21 years later.
The panic is visible at every level. Attorneys for both Diddy and LeBron have spent the last month issuing carefully worded denials, warning of reckless speculation and meritless accusations. But no one's buying innocence as a press release anymore. Not when attorneys representing Diddy's victims are telling reporters that more names are coming and that those names will shock you. And when those same lawyers start talking about pictures, video, and texts, evidence that could, in theory, pull in anyone who ever stepped foot at a Diddy party, the pressure only goes one way. Diddy's empire may have fallen, but his ability to cause chaos is just getting started.
So what they're asking for is this. They are saying, look, he was found not guilty on all the serious charges, racketeering, fraud, force, coercion, all of those found not guilty. He wasn't charged with, but it was part of the force issue. The only thing he's left with is the Mann Act, which is taking a to cross state lines and paying them for.
Even the NBA can't keep itself out of the splash zone. With LeBron facing the end of his contract and rumors swirling about a move back to Cleveland, team officials are scrambling to downplay any links to Diddy, with insiders whispering that LeBron's inner circle is vetting every public appearance and business partnership with a fine-tooth comb. Behind the scenes, sports agents are reportedly warning their other clients to be hyper-cautious about past Diddy encounters. And if tapes exist and no one outside Diddy's legal bunker knows for sure, then any superstar is one leak away from a public relations meltdown, if not a subpoena. None of this is happening in a vacuum. Every viral meme, every resurfaced party video, every speculative tweet is fuel for federal prosecutors who, as of last month, are actively collecting digital evidence from the entertainment world's biggest stars. Diddy's lawyer has called it a reckless media circus. But when even his defense admits there are hundreds of hours of video, it's not just the fans who are anxious. It's every agent, manager, and attorney with a client who's ever set foot in Diddy's world. We can't ignore the cold logic here. If Diddy's only hope of cutting his sentence is to become a one-man Pandora's box for the feds, then we're about to see the most high-stakes celebrity trade in modern history. And with Smith swearing up and down that LeBron is first on the list, the question on everyone's mind isn't whether LeBron is involved. It's what he knew, when he knew it, and why he's staying silent now.
I mean, let's just be real for a second. There are a lot of lawyers who call this legal extortion, and that this is the way the legal system works, which is you threaten somebody with reputational harm. And in this case, it's interesting that Jay-Z, who's very wealthy, said it would be financial ruin.
LeBron James isn't just facing a PR crisis. He's staring down a federal investigation, and Diddy's trial exposed exactly how this works. When we peel back the velvet curtain, it's more than celebrity gossip, it's a well-oiled operation. Testimony in open court revealed Diddy as a compulsive documentarian of his own private kingdom. According to insiders and corroborated by former assistants, Diddy recorded everything. This wasn't for home movies or holiday laughs. This was ammunition. When people in Diddy's circle stepped out of line, those tapes resurfaced. Careers were ended, deals disappeared, and if you crossed him, you could wake up to a viral clip that no lawyer on earth could scrub from the internet. We've heard from multiple former associates that Diddy built an archive designed for one purpose: control. So when Stephen A. Smith accused Diddy of handing over LeBron to federal agents, it wasn't idle chatter. This is how power games in Hollywood are played. There's a real possibility that everything is being traded, one tape at a time, to claw back a few months of freedom. Now, add in the LA Lakers drama, the kind of backroom dealing that turns star athletes into chess pieces. LeBron is locked in on a $52 million contract, but rumor after rumor suggests he's quietly pushing for a trade. Is that a genuine move to revive his career, or is it a well-timed attempt to change the conversation? We've heard from two league insiders who believe the contract noise is nothing but a distraction, a way to keep the media fixated on points per game, not on federal subpoenas.
Great father, great husband, great philanthropist, great businessman, great director, great producer, great host, great basketball player, great leader. I mean, my God, I have done everything but put diapers and a bib on this brother. But it ain't enough, because one thing matters to him and one thing only, and that's him being recognized as the greatest of all times. Well, you're not, in my book.
Every piece fits together in a way that should make LeBron's team lose sleep. The Lakers front office wants a clean narrative. LeBron's representatives want one last legendary run. But then there's the reality. As of this summer, multiple sources say the FBI is reviewing the social and financial web between Diddy and his A-list guests. What looked like a party scene in a music video is now, in the eyes of prosecutors, a suspect timeline. Money trails, guest lists, security footage, and whatever Diddy managed to store on encrypted hard drives. If the rumors are true, LeBron isn't just fighting to keep his reputation intact, he's fighting to stay out of the next round of headlines. This time not as the face of the Lakers, but as a potential witness, or even more. The psychological chess match here is next level. Diddy wasn't just a party host, he was, by many accounts, a master manipulator. The world saw his apology video in 2024, calling his own actions disgusting, but inside the music industry, that was just a calculated move to cool public outrage. Behind the scenes, associates testified that Diddy wielded threats like a pro. Hints about private videos, promises to make problems disappear if he played along. That makes Smith's claim about LeBron's camp trying to ruin my reputation hit even harder. We know the beef between Smith and LeBron goes way back, fueled by years of back and forth on air. But in the current climate, those accusations stop being trash talk and start looking a lot like foreshadowing. LeBron's silence since Diddy's conviction has been deafening, and the longer it stretches, the more oxygen it gives the conspiracy machine.
Are you surprised by the evidence that's already coming out in the criminal trial?
No, I'm not surprised. I experienced some of those things. Witnessed violence.
What's more, Diddy's own attorney, who spent the last year batting away allegations with increasingly desperate statements, finally said the quiet part out loud. He vowed to pursue this matter no matter who the evidence implicates. That's not just a shot across the bow, it's a warning to every name in Diddy's Rolodex. Industry insiders say LeBron's legal team is on red alert, holding marathon meetings, cross-checking every possible tie between their client and Diddy's network. One lawyer familiar with the federal probe tells us that subpoenas are already being drafted for people seen in background videos. Anyone who could shed light on who knew what and when. Every denial, every no comment starts to feel a little shakier when you realize that prosecutors have digital files from years of freak-off parties and every single phone that passed through Diddy's house.
You had day 17 in the Diddy trial as the biggest one yet. Guess what? Bingo, you won, because today was probably the most eventful day as far as things that happened that were said on the stand, and most importantly, things that the judge said, because Diddy almost got kicked out of his own trial.
Meanwhile, we can't ignore the judge's final words at Diddy's sentencing: a danger at any age. That line has been dissected by cable hosts and legal analysts all month. But there's a much colder question lurking underneath. What does that make the men who partied with him? Were they naive, complicit, or just unlucky enough to be at the wrong place at the wrong time? For LeBron, that question isn't hypothetical. The LA Court of Public Opinion is as brutal as any federal inquiry, and right now, every moment of his relationship with Diddy is being played back in slow motion by prosecutors and fans alike. We're seeing the walls close in. Diddy's trial has already proven that nobody's reputation is bulletproof, not after a year like this. The lawyers who once bragged about mutual NDA agreements are now the ones leaking stories to soften the blow. The agents who once courted Diddy for business are suddenly erasing his number and ducking reporters. One former industry road manager claims the blackmail operation was an open secret, that everyone knew Diddy recorded his private gatherings, but nobody imagined he'd ever turn on his own circle. That fantasy is over. As we dig through new leaks, one pattern keeps repeating. The men with the most to lose are also the ones most desperate to stay out of the news cycle. LeBron's camp is hiring crisis PR experts, bracing for a worst-case scenario where even an innocent appearance in Diddy's archives could mean months of negative press. Every lawyer in Hollywood knows the real danger isn't what's true, but what can't be disproven before it's trending. That's why, even with no public charges, the fear is real.
I thought he was this clean businessman who rise to the top because he was such a powerful and smart, educated man. I had no idea that he had this other side to him. And when I started to get exposed to his lifestyle, I started to really realize, like, this guy has an addiction. It's not just, once every few weeks, it's every day, every hour.
Diddy's blackmail tapes, if they exist, represent the ultimate wild card. Smith's sources are adamant there's material no one wants the public to see, and it's already in play. No label has commented, but one entertainment lawyer we spoke with suggested the pressure is existential, that LeBron and others may soon have to choose between testifying, cutting deals, or facing the spectacle of seeing their private moments dissected on national television. It's a nightmare scenario that only seems far-fetched until you remember how many famous faces once denied ever setting foot at Diddy's parties, only to have the photos surface a week later. As this story unspools, we're reminded that celebrity isn't just about fame, it's about risk, and it's about what happens when that spotlight turns toxic. Diddy's apology video was supposed to be the final word on a career in ruins. Instead, it's just the opening act. Federal agents are still following the money, the tapes, and the timelines. Every new leak ratchets up the stakes for LeBron and every other name on those guest lists. The NBA's brightest star now faces a crossroads that could change everything. LeBron's silence speaks volumes. But if Diddy's tapes exist, and Smith's sources say they do, the next sound you hear might be handcuffs. Could this be the moment America's greatest athlete is dragged from the court to the courtroom? Or will LeBron's power and team of fixers save him from Diddy's revenge? Drop your hottest theory in the comments. We know you've got opinions. This saga is just getting started and no one is safe. Until next time, keep your eyes open and your secrets safer.